After successfully logging into My Coyote, click on the administrative tile. You will be brought to a second page where you can click on the HR administrative tile. Once you click on the icon, the Human Resources page will appear. On the left are your menu options. Scroll to CSU ID Search hyperlink, select it, and the CSU ID page will appear. Once the page appears, this is where you can perform your searches in several different ways. The first way is to search is by using the employee ID number. Enter the employee ID number in the employee ID field and select search. If the person exists, you will get results down below. And this person has multiple records, as you can see. There's 1 through 11 rows of data. This is a very informative page where it can tell you the types of organization relationships this person has on campus. As you can see, this person is inactive in most of the positions and active in one position here. It gives you the job code, and it gives you the job description, and it tells you the organization relationship. It also gives you the date of birth by month and day. It will not appear with the year, so you can validate if this is the person you really need to see. Another way to search is to go back up to the top and select Reset. The second option to search is by first name and last name. You can do this by entering the first 3 letters of the first name, the first 3 letters of the last name. In this case, I'm entering 4 because I know that we're going to get a number of results back. And here's my person that I'm looking for. So you can see this result has worked. Another option is to search by national ID. Normally we don't have national ID, but if you want to use this search, you can use this search. I'm not going to demonstrate this, but when you're entering the national ID, enter straight text. Do not enter the hyphens. I'm going to go back to the EMPL ID and search again for my person. My person has appeared, and I just want to cover the detailed links on this page. As you can see, this person is an applicant. Applicant means an employee applicant, not applicant as a student. I'm going to click on the details link to show you the page that it takes you to. Please notice that when you click on the detail link, there's another page that opens at the top. And at this page is where all the application data is at. This is very old information. It's not accurate. So if a person has an applicant status, please don't rely on it as valid information. It's not maintained in PeopleSoft any longer. Once you're done confirming if this is your person, close the page by clicking the X. The next detail link I'm going to take you to is the detail link for an employee. This person happens to be a student employee. They happen to be an emergency hire, and they happen to be an actual employee, staff employee on row 10. I'm going to click on the detail link for the employee. This is the page that will show the employee biographical data. Here, a page will open up and you will see all of the employee data. At this point, you can validate if this is your person, if you have any of the information to validate against, like date of birth or their name, or if you click on contact information, you can actually see the address and validate this is the person that you're looking for. Once you're done validating your information, you can close the page by clicking the X. And I'm going to show you one last detail. The next detail link we're going to look at is the Campus Solution POI Person of Interest Type, which is row 11, and I'm going to click the detail link. Now you're taken to the student records, and a different view will appear. And you can see how different this page looks. Once you're done researching whatever you need to validate, you can close this page. In addition to being able to access the detail link, you also need to pay attention to the record numbers, the EMPL record numbers, which are employee record numbers. I explain these as if personnel files, different jobs they have on campus. There's an EMPL record number for each job the person has on campus. So you can see that this person had EMPL record 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's had 7 state jobs on campus. In addition to that, there's a record 100, which is an auxiliary job that he's held on campus. But you can also see from this page the HR status of the active and inactive data, jobs that he has. The only active position this person has at this time is EMPL record 7, and it's in department CS1630 as an administrative analyst. In addition to knowing that there's several jobs this person has, the department ID is another field that you should pay attention to. The department ID has several meanings to it. One, the beginning letter tells you what division they work for. A B is for student affairs, a D is for administration and finance, a C is for academic affairs. What's not appearing here is the letter A, which is the president's division, the letter E, which is university advancement, and the letter F, which is information technology services. Also, the second letter in the department ID is a letter F or a letter S. The F is for all decentralized processing, for example, students, faculty, part-time faculty, and the S is for all centralized processing, which is all staff and managers. You will rarely see the letter H because the letter H is not used any longer and it does not represent a division. And the letter P is for auxiliary positions, and you will rarely see that going forward as we no longer house auxiliary people in our HR system. One last note is that if you look at all your headers on the top, they function as sorts. So if you want to find an organization relationship of a person, you can actually click on the link on top and it will sort for you. And now I have the blanks first, and then you can see that the applicant appears and then employee categories appear. You can search by POI types or any other feature you want to use. There's another feature. If you have multiple people showing up, you can use the find feature, and you can click that and you can find a person by typing in their name or EMPL ID if you have multiple returns. There's also a grid here that you can download to Excel if needed. One final note is if you scroll to the right, you'll see the number of records that return. You'll have a number of 1, and in this case, it's 1 of 11. This concludes CSU ID Search training.